Holy demon. What a situation.
A scratch-free gearbox cross member. How long is that going to stay scratch-free for? We're going to be leaving red paint on rocks tomorrow. So after 3 weeks of continuous work on it, sleepless nights, it's all come to this. Look over, boys.
Careful. Put your hands in the air. Put your hands right up. In the air. Higher. Higher. Alright. Whoa, we got something leaking out big time.
What do you mean?
Fluid.
Kid drop off and then 4 tyres heading to Kirrawee. Oh. My goodness. That's right, it's not going to go anything.
What's that, 10?
It's all good.
Should put a brick under the tyre, huh?
Hot cross buns, coffee, gazebos. What's he backing up now to put his camp chair out? It's going to look so good. Anybody out there running dual cases, can't get the trail gear one? This is not for sale. Don't put a comment down below saying, can I buy it? Not for sale. I learned my lesson with the guard. Straight back on it went. The only bad thing about doing this is I'm an inch longer now in wheelbase. So it makes me like quite long, a limousine. So a little bit of time on the 5-inch grinder and the cordless Recipro. Need to make a little bit more clearance on the front side of the tyre now that we've done the 20mm push to clear the guard. Nice sunny day in Sydney today. It's time to get bullet out and do some work on the street where I've got a bit of room around me. We'll re-spool this winch in after that bit of a recovery to pull that front diff forward off the 79 last episode. Plenty of room, heaps of clearance. Could have even gone 42s this time. So that's as far as I could go without seriously modifying this front bar. We've trimmed it right back. We've put a bit of paint on it. I've cut the inner guard. In this video, we get the passenger side spring in and the 20mm diff push complete. I had a couple of requests to document step by step on how to change the leaf springs. So we'll do that in this video. First job, U-bolts out. So obviously we've got the tyre off. I've got the diff supported with a bottle jack. I've got a massive jack stand under the chassis and the high lift jack on the side of the side step. Wasn't like that when I put it in, that's for sure. Now with the U-bolts out, so what we want to do is we want to drop the diff housing. So we release the bottle jack and bring it down as far as we can until we can release the center pin. Safely undo the front pin and the shackle pin. A very handy tool when I do my springs is my crowbar. These are the Bud's Custom banana shackles. I only have to undo and pull out the bottom one, which makes it a lot easier than your conventional shackle where you've got to undo both sides. We get the old pack out, and these are going to be a really good reusable spare. Before I put the new one in, I need to put that 20mm packer in, like I did on the other side. Geez, it's been a long 3 weeks, sleepless nights, long hours on the tools on the truck. Little bit of panel beating on this hanger to get it straight so I could get the bush in. Being the lowest, furthest forward point on the truck, they do hit a lot of rocks. Bit of grease on the pins. The relocating plate needs to go in now. Now the easiest way to do this is going to be to get a small tyre, bolt it on, lift the spring and just walk the diff. Today the dual cab's here. and there's a spare tyre under it. It's going to be the easiest option. So I'll just borrow that. Way easier than a 40-inch trap to roll around. Smaller than a steering wheel. How good does that look? We'll lift up the springs till we just get separation. So there's separation now. That should line up when I release the jack on the springs, or very close to. Yeah, that's going to go. I may not have pointed this out last episode, but if you ever do a diff push, you need the flip plates that have got the slotted groove at the top so they can go back and forth on that center pin. Otherwise your U-bolts won't be in the right place. If that was just one single hole, I'd be following. I need the slotted hole, and this is the superior engineering one. They're good. You don't have that bulky plate under the housing anymore either. Unfortunately, that's as far as time's going to permit me to get on this today. So what I'll do is, it's secure enough to stay on the jacks. I've got tomorrow up my sleeve to sort this out and get it on the trailer for the Saturday run. I can see already I'm going to have issues. So these U-bolts are off the back of the 79. They're brand new. When TJM did the GVM upgrade, they didn't use the factory U-bolts. Cruiser U-bolts fit the flip plates on the front of the Hiluxes. These are the smaller nuts, so these aren't the same as the ones that we had on there already. So they're like a 25mm nut, and these are shorter. So apart from cutting the thread, maybe backing off the bracket and twisting it a couple of degrees up. Those arms look good, they look parallel, they're not crossing over at all. So there's a bit of mucking around to do tomorrow, big clean up today, but the springs are in. As long as it doesn't rain, I'm halfway there. A nice sunny day, and we're hours away from getting this on the trailer. Let's have a look where we're up to. So I've got the U-bolts properly in. It's been a morning on the grinder. U-bolts are in, and I've cut back the thread. It actually looks like it's going to be okay. I've slightly rotated that clamp. Got a couple of high tensile bolts, and now while the grinders are out, we're going to do the clearing work that we need to on that front bar and the inner guard. $30mm higher in the suspension, and then obviously jumping from a 37 to a 40, it was a lot taller. We've got a plan to make the front just that touch wider so that I can have a little bit more steering, the tyres not hitting the springs so quickly. I guess one of the first lot of spares to get packed for tomorrow is going to be power steering fluid. So we've got 1.5 litres, just in case anything's loose or we get a leak. But I think we're ready to give it a try anyway. Now the test run really didn't go exactly how I had planned it. We did have to spend a lot of time on the tools under the truck.
Whoa, we got something leaking out big time.
What do you mean?
Fluid.
And a lot of the day with at least one wheel in the air, sometimes two. So we started the morning on 4 PSI all round. It was way too soft. The tyres were bagging and exaggerating the angle of the truck. Oh well, a Nissan helping a Nissan. There's rain clouds up ahead, look at that. It really did surprise me how different this truck was to drive, how much taller it felt, how much tippier it was. But with some seat time, we'll get used to it. We'll manage our tyre pressures a little bit differently as well. One last little climb, they say. Will only take 5 minutes. Far out.
What's the call out fee today, Brian? Two
Enjoyment.
plus 180 an hour on Saturday.
Enjoyment. Talk to me about tolls. Tell us about tolls. How many tolls were there in that 3 weeks?
Oh, stop it.
Just the thread came off.
Wow. So we're having shock issues here. Do you need some hydraulic fluid? There's some there. Oh, blue paint. Millimeters. That's a pretty big rock. How tall are you? 3 foot? No. But you're still a foot away. The rim is spinning in the tyre. That's insane. That was a good one. That's the one that was leaking before. We never put air back in it. Just for the record, I'm not spotting. You're listening to Jaden already. This is not my fault. You're gonna come down that? No way. Oh, it's a big ass.
Just send it. Yeah.
Just send it.
What a situation.
Have you got me so I can get out?
Hang on.
Bullet's old trap's never been treated so nicely. Oh, let me guess.
Turn in. Yep, that was turning in.
As always,
80 series ate me.